What's up, trash talkers? Listen, it's impossible to fight, okay, if you don't know what you're fighting for. Does that make sense? Like, if you're in the dumps and you're struggling with mental health, things of that nature, it's going to continue tearing you down, all right? Because you're consistently trying to fight something, which is that demon, which is usually something from the past, right? Maybe that why needs to be fighting for your future. Let that be your why. Get the hell up and start fighting for your future. Stop fighting things that happened in the past. Easier said than done, right? Go seek help. It's okay not to be okay. A lot of people need to hear this. You are more of a warrior and a fighter if you stand up and say, hey, this has to stop. I need to go seek help. The stigma, everything has changed. It's okay not to be okay.
Here is a firm believer in all men are created equal, but not all men live equal. That is why there's a certain select number of people in the DoD who decided to jump out of airplanes. And yes, we are better than you. 100%. Now, don't be the first triggered pansy to say, well, airborne's not relevant. You haven't jumped since World War II. Well, that's not accurate, for one. And two, it's like having a jalopy or a 68 Mustang. Well, a 68 Mustang's no longer relevant. Doesn't matter. It's still a better car than yours. So take it easy this National Airborne Day and just accept that we are better than you.
So, two things for today's Honesty Cap. First thing, how do all my boys from the 101st feel knowing that the Army decided that instead of actually making you airborne, they've just created a whole new division that's airborne because you just aren't cutting it? It sucks. Thing number two, for all the folks who were like, oh, airborne is irrelevant, doesn't even matter, they're making a whole new division of just airborne people because they're relevant. Think about that. How's that feel? Does it hurt a little bit? I hope it hurts a little bit.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
What's going on, Gruntworks Nation? Happy Saturday, Trash Talkers. Welcome to episode 162 of the Trash Talk Hour. Special guest today is Mike, CEO of X-Ray Brand. And joining me today are the Big and the Baker. Happy Saturday. Cheers, y'all.
Who let the baker out of his mom's basement? Nope.
I know.
Hey, where's Carrie at? Get Carrie on the line. Something's wrong.
Nobody else will show up. What do you want?
You killed Carrie. Yeah, speaking of
The
that.
Baker is an extra for Buddy. Where's Buddy at, though? We got to talk about Buddy real quick, don't we?
Yeah, we do a little bit. I mean, Buddy's been kind of, now that he's marrying royalty in France, right?
And French. The big thing is French he's marrying.
Yeah, he told me yesterday he's changing his nationality, right? Like he
has no
his paperwork already,
right? Yeah, but I mean, you see a correlation there because he's sloppy. He put on a lot of weight after he retired. So now that he's marrying royalty,
now he's trying to hustle in the gym to get rid of it.
He's getting it going, and then you don't think that would rub off that quickly, but he's like, let them eat cake, right? He is so pompous now that again, hey, I'm about to be rolling in the dough. You're going to see it on TikTok. All right. My 3M lawsuit money is coming in July. Right. So
congratulations.
And then what does Buddy say? He's like, oh, I wouldn't have never done that.
Yeah, it was too good for it. Yeah.
It was too good for it.
Nothing against you, bro. Yeah. I remember that conversation.
Yeah.
What?
It reminds me of those vets that are like, oh, I didn't do anything. I'm not going to the VA for disability. I'm too good for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Buddy. Well, I'm going to take my money from 3M and I'm going to party with it. It's going to be a good time. Yeah.
I never thought it actually worked. We were talking about it. I filled out the paperwork briefly, and then I was like, everybody was like, yeah, people are going to get like $10, $15. It's insane, dude. Like, I don't know if you can actively. I don't know if you can actively
there's a
share with
comma
everybody
involved.
like, what you're actually making, but yeah, it's like, yeah.
I'm not
That
a
bit
math
came
major. Oh yeah, big time.
Oh yeah.
No shit.
Nick's getting
Yeah, so
big time.
so $6 billion divided by 280,000. All right, and then that's
About 5 figures.
That's goes. Then it breaks down by category. So if you have like VA tinnitus, like rated tinnitus, then you're like category 4 or 5. If you have hearing loss at a certain level, you're 5 of 5, and that's 6 figures. So
That's all me, man. Literally, I hit every.
But hey, like I said, you like those those memes you see, like when I win the lottery, I won't tell anybody, but there'll be hints, like you'll be.
Now you're moving to California.
Nick will still be drinking his Coors Light, but you'll see that pinky out.
No, I'll have a Coors Banquet instead.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
The banquet beer,
The banquet beer. Nice.
You snob.
Oh shit! Well, who we got in the chat? Linda, thanks for tuning in. Linda. Oh, we got a new name for Linda. You need to be tuned in under your trash talk name, right?
Yeah.
What the hell? Yeah, VTT's
YouTube
Bang Bang. VTT's Bang Bang expert. I think what was that? 31 Bravo. What is that? Is that what it is? Weapon specialist.
31 Bravo. Yeah.
I mean,
31 Bravo is MP. Yeah, military police.
Nice. But we got Bobby Lee Jr. He ain't been on the show in a while. What's up? Well, coming in from South Carolina. So, all right.
What up, Bobby?
Nice.
What up, Crystal?
Never taught him how to use
Crystal's
things.
on there from YouTube. Yeah. You ain't in charge, Chris. You're on the show today. Shut up. 55 Bravo. Excuse me.
Oh.
My apologies.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's roll right into the tinfoil hat stuff, huh?
Fuck it.
Literally.
Yeah. So, have you guys? And I sent Chris a video extremely early. I sent it on like Tuesday. So, round of applause.
I bet it's gonna be all screwed up. I asked him to make a video like 4 days ago.
So, have you guys heard of? Did you guys hear about that monolith that just like appeared in Utah like 2 years ago? And then they were like, "Oh, it was just it was a prank," but it was in the middle of nowhere, and then they just removed it, and you didn't hear anything else about it. So, one just appeared in Vegas out on a hiking trail as well, and then I started Googling it, and there's like these monoliths are appearing in like other countries as well, along with the United Kingdom and like all kinds of crazy shit. And I don't know. Like, I'm the UFO guy, alien guy, like tinfoil hat, crop circles. They used to say it was a joke, but now more people are like, well, these crop circles were probably like fucking the real deal. So, Chris, go ahead and play that video, and then we'll get everybody's take on it.
Yeah, do your job. Jarhead, press the button.
Sound
This
would
tall,
be great.
shiny
Sound
object
would
was
be
just
great.
found on a hiking trail in Las Vegas, but let's back up for a second. In late 2020, monoliths started mysteriously appearing all over the world, from Utah to Romania to downtown Las Vegas. The catch? No one saw who put them there. Naturally, the internet had a field day with theories of art installations, pranksters, and of course, aliens. Utah officials even reminded the public that using, occupying, or developing public lands without authorization is illegal, no matter what planet you're from. Over less than a month, 23 monoliths were found before the phenomenon stopped as quickly as it started. But now it might be back. The one that was just found in Las Vegas looks just like the ones from 2020, and officials say how it got there is a mystery. And this isn't the first one to pop up this year. Back in March, a hiker discovered a similar object on top of a hill in Wales that could only be reached on foot.
Right. So,
We got
pretty fucking yeah.
Fingers over there.
Why was that Romania one so trash?
They don't get the good ones. They don't
The
get the
Vegas
good
one
ones.
was the nicest one, right?
Well, I mean, you don't want to
the
piss off.
nicest one.
You don't want to piss off the vampires, right? So
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really know what my take is on this. I feel like it is probably like a little bit of a hoax, but I find it kind of like that article says even if you're from another planet, like you're not allowed to just like put shit here or take it away. And then they talk about the one in Utah that was removed. The police removed it because of environmental hazards. No, man, I don't know. Like the fact that it's being done all over the world is kind of fishy. I guess I'm split between this. Maybe it is some fucking alien shit, right? Or maybe it's the government playing tricks on us again. I don't have a take on this one. I don't know.
Wow,
I'm going to go more towards
real brave of you.
No,
Yeah.
okay. I'm going to go more towards.
This video on Tuesday doesn't have a take.
Doesn't have a take.
I'm going to go more towards I'm going to go more towards a hoax. Don't know how they're doing it. Like, obviously, like in some of these hiking trails that are like not easily accessible and are able to do this without anybody seeing it. I'm still calling it a hoax. I'm going to call it a hoax. That's all I got. Mike, what's your take on the monoliths? We got little gray aliens coming down, placing these things, or what's going on here?
Well, it's real, right? Like it's not fake. There's big, heavy metal things that are shiny out in wild places. So it's even if it's a hoax, it's fucking amazing that someone's dragging this stuff out there. Yeah, I've I don't believe in aliens, but I do believe people will go to incredible lengths to get attention on art. And that the real conspiracy is that in 5 years, someone's going to have all 10 of them together and try to sell them at
well, if you have all 10 of them together, they create a portal, apparently.
Yeah.
That's when they summon speaking of vampires, when they summon the blood god, when you get all 10 together, and then we're all.
Yeah, then you really made it.
Yeah, and I'm big into aliens and stuff. I don't see it with this one, but it is fascinating on how they actually accomplish to get into these locations without being seen. Like, that's crazy.
It's like a fake Banksy or something, Like
right.
dragging these heavy things out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, yeah. Interesting. All right, Baker, what you got? I sent you this Tuesday, so you probably did all kinds of research already. No.
I think it's Elon. That looks suspiciously like pieces of a fucking Cybertruck.
They're like Tesla charging stations.
And like he's trying to, because of how awkward that truck looks. I mean, it looks like a truck with PlayStation 1 graphics. Let's be honest. He's trying to sensitize everybody to how ugly that truck is so that people start actually liking it and not talking shit about it and start buying more of his trucks.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll take that. I don't know. It's supposed to be funny, huh?
Yeah. You don't even have an opinion, so...
Yeah. All right. Fair. It's Elon Musk. I mean, Elon would probably be capable of like pulling something like that off.
It's 100% Elon. Fuck it is.
Really?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
So, I'm not too sure what to think about Mike says aliens aren't real when we've already debunked that like 400 times on this show. Like there's aliens.
And he did his research too.
We literally have people in Peru in firefights with aliens every day in the jungle. Like we had the video, right? It's real. So
we got the Miami Mall, right? We got the Miami Mall. We got the Vegas alien. Yeah, we got quite a bit of alien situations occurring. But that goes back to the government trying to fucking pull some fucking Project Bluebeam stuff off.
Right. I haven't seen my uncle Hank in a while. Hank's on the chat already said he's dated vampires. They're real. So you have had some bloodsuckers in your life. Because thank God I didn't have to call my aunt. So that was a good job. But it is what it is. That before I give my official take on it, remember we are shadow banned during election year. So just like please, like Mark does not like veteran groups during election year. We are put to the bottom even if you follow us. So give us a like and a share if you're watching. Really appreciate it. Go follow our YouTube channel because we're shadow banned on that all year round. So like we don't do enough how-to videos. We just it is what it is. But yeah. I gotta say, I don't.
That's another 20 points or whatever system that they have. Yeah.
Fuck you, YouTube. Right. But anyways, I like where do these things like they're just showing up, and then somebody removed it because of environmental.
It is removing them, right? For like you can Google it for like environmental hazards, and but they're just getting removed and then they're gone. Like
right.
Huh? And then they don't talk about it anymore. The one in Utah was the first one that everybody talked about. And then supposedly it was like an art club or whatever that came out and said, we did this. But then they didn't like talk about it anymore. Now they're appearing everywhere again.
Has anybody touched one yet?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it could just be like paper mache and not heavy at all to carry out there if it's been art club did it. So it could just be, it could just be an influencer thing. Like you're starting to see that trend with these blonde chicks that are doing this stuff, and all making millions of dollars. You got the crazy alien on the plane. You got the Haktua girl now, right? Like you got all these people that just like.
Hey, crazy alien on a plane is like, that goes deep though.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
On the show?
Yeah.
It couldn't help. It's been on the internet. You've seen it. I guarantee you've seen it.
Yeah,
you've seen it, Chris.
I 100% I got to say this is Elon. I don't think it's because to make people more, favorable of that ugly ass truck that they made, but I think it's his, it's his Starlink program, right? Elon's got his own internet. He just came out and trashed he just trashed the Biden administration for low income internet, that they're giving for free and yada yada yada. He's like, if the government didn't control the fucking internet, it would be cheap as shit, right? So that was kind of like his point. So I think he's putting these like little radars over the place to see what he can get away with, whatever it is. So I think it's just a big experiment by Elon, because again, who else buys who spends $30 billion on a company knowing he's going to lose money just because, like, fuck you, I can do it. So
badass.
Yeah. So I think it's a full experiment.
Okay. No aliens, none whatsoever. Zero.
I like the Cybertruck charging station theory. I think that.
Like I said, has anybody touched it? Is it like you just go there and bump your truck against it and boom, it's 100% charge? Like it's some kind of like.
People definitely touched the Romanian one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was fucked up.
Fingerprints all over it.
Yeah.
The rest of them look pretty clean. That one.
It's hollow. There's nothing in there. But it's just again, it's just to get likes. It's the Deion Sanders of everything. But yeah, okay. Well, I'll jump into the book of Earl here. Yeah. And I got two. So get your drinks ready. It's gonna be a minute. And again, Buddy's not on here to Matt and Bill's not watching. He might have to waterboard himself, Mike. So you're tracking. Sometimes I get on a rant. And Bill like literally pulled his shirt over his head and started waterboarding. So
he had a damp rag he threw right over his face.
But a couple things I got to cover. And I'm doing it for Buddy because I don't think we're doing a show next week, even though there's like 5 weeks in June. But we're taking our little summer vacation. We don't do any shows in July. I think we'll start that early. But I've seen some posts already, and I had to get into fights with people on VTT Official about it. But in the words of Buddy Beckwith, all right, July 4th comes every year on the same fucking day, right? So if you don't like fireworks, all right, you have had 364 days to fucking prepare. Okay,
fuck it.
Like I get it. The randos get my heart pumping, and I thought about this the other day. I was walking my dog, and I saw like a vehicle that reminded me of like one of those like white bongo trucks in Iraq,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
hell yeah, that had PKCs on top of them.
Yeah, like literally,
Toyota Hiluxes.
Yeah, I'm like, Hezbollah must have drove that over the border from Juarez, but like I'm sitting there, I'm sitting there like, and my heart started beating a little bit faster, right? And as I'm walking my dog, and I'm like, I'm in El Paso, right? I have my fucking dog, right? And there's beautiful trees, and it's not Iraq, like it's okay. Right. And I get it. There's shell shock. There's things like that. And the random fireworks, the randos get my heart jumping like a motherfucker. Right. And it's just like, it is what it is. But for the love of God, stop dropping the V card like you speak for all of us. All right. And stop dropping the V card, as in the veteran card. All right. That, because again, we are a minority. So once you say, well, as a veteran, right, like you ain't speaking for me, homie. Right. Like, so just, quit being a triggered pansy. Right there. All right. Do not be a trigger pansy on July 4th. All right. Do not ruin freedom and fun that everybody else has. All right. Because I have a freaking blast on July 4th. Okay. I think I did a video last year. I think we fired like 3 admin over it. But like, I'm literally like running through the fireworks. Okay. Like it's not Iraq. It's not Afghanistan. You weren't in the Battle of the Bulge, in the Ardennes forest getting shelled for 60 straight days by 88s. Right. Like, no, stop it.
This isn't fucking D-Day, homie.
Exactly. So again, I don't want to be too hard on you. So I get it. Let's just say you're one of those guys or girls that just can't do it. And what makes me sick is that picture of like, not all veterans like fireworks. Not everybody's happy on the 4th of July. And it's got this person in
their house. Signs for that shit, bro. People put signs in front of a veteran lives here. Like,
so they got the person with a service dog, and he's like bent down in his house on July 4th, but first of all, why is he in uniform?
There's a shirt idea. A veteran lives here. Blow that shit up.
And then, we have one. We're pro veterans fire. We already have that shirt. If you've ever paid attention to our catalog, Chris. But you do own the company, so
I do just talk shit.
But And again, and why does that
just
person
stay in my lane?
Yeah, why does that person have a cover on inside? Okay, like what are they doing?
You just tear that shit apart. Yeah.
Right, like no. All right, so here it is. I have the solution. All right, so this is from the annexes of the Book of Earl. All right, when you have a problem, solve it. Okay, solve the problem. Okay, and if you can't handle fireworks and there's nothing you can do, you've been to therapy. I mean, fuck, man, you can get shrooms now from the VA, man. Take shrooms on July 4th. Like, if you can't, I have an idea for you, and I'll be the first one to fucking donate. If you're one of those I can't stand fireworks people, start a nonprofit tomorrow. All right, start a nonprofit, and then on July 2nd, all right, you're gonna pick everybody up who can't stand fireworks, and you're gonna go to the most remote motherfucking place in America or another country, and you're going to come back. You're going to camp for 3 days. You're going to come back on July 5th. Okay. I'm telling you right now, I will be the first one to donate to that. Instead of bitching and ruin everybody else's fun, solve the problem. All right. Solve it. All right. So that's enough of that. I mean, I'm telling you right now, you get on VTT official and start bitching about fireworks, you're gone, son. Done. All right.
It'll happen again.
Yeah, it'll happen again.
And we're not making fun of mental health here. Like,
we're not.
Legitimately.
But your mental health doesn't get to fuck everybody else's day out. All right. Like, no, you don't get to make it.
And I feel like there is a percentage in that group that just the vet bro shit.
Yeah.
They make it all about themselves. We talk about that all the time on the show, but there is a small percentage of that group that's like, no, I don't like fireworks. Like, respect me and what I've been through. Like, we've all been through some shit, homie.
They'll brag about how many pills they're on, and it's like, not a good thing, dude. Like, Dr. Gad, we had the guest on, wrote the book Wounding Warriors. Like he says, like, if you're not getting better, then you might want to go ask your doctor, why am I taking these pills? Right? If you're getting these pills over and over again, you're not getting better. But get the fuck off. Right?
Spot on.
And then
the pills don't make it better anyway. I mean, that's a whole other discussion. They just mask your current issue and like help you somehow get through it for a little bit, but it doesn't fucking fix the problem. Go seek like professional
symptoms. They don't
go talk to somebody.
Problems.
Yep. Correct.
And then the last part of the Book of Earl is in the wise words of Bill and Ted, right? Be excellent to each other. Right? I was thinking about this the other day. I was mentoring a young soldier, and I was like, just be nice. Right? And I'm a dick. Right, I'm a dick a lot of times. I don't have enough digits to count how many times I had to go back and apologize to somebody. Right, to where it's like, man, I shouldn't have said that.
But you have fun with it.
Yeah, my bad. All right. However, just like I raised my children, I go, if you're nice, you will weed out the shitheads much easier. Right, the shitheads won't get as deep into your circle if you're nice. Right, so. And again, he doesn't mean to take shit from people, but it's like, just be nice to people. All right. And that was like, again, I'm not talking about the airlines again. I posted it on Facebook again today. Like, the downfall of society. Downfall of society.
That was hilarious.
Are airlines, right? Like, you want to see how fucking miserable people are, just go on a flight, right? And just like, that guy's getting an award if you go on Big Earl. It's like, I didn't stand up when the plane stopped today, right? Like, stand right up. And then Megan shared that video, that comic. That was great. So it's
and it's funny though, because I do that.
Yeah,
like
that's because you're from Europe. Yeah,
counting.
Yeah, but it's you're counting the rows. Like 1, 2, 3. Okay, we gotta get ready, babe. Get ready. Okay, we'll go. Like so like but yeah, just be nice to people, right? Yeah, and just do it. Be nice, and then things should work out for you. Okay, but and again, don't be like Buddy. Don't get all Frenchy and fucking better than people, right? So not even show up on your shows anymore, right? I don't know what that shit's all about. But okay, I get the distinct pleasure of introducing our guest. And our guest was a referral, all right, from old JC Glick, right? The big soft teddy bear himself. Now, I'm a little upset at JC because he just started his PhD at Columbia, right? He doesn't seem like a Columbia guy to me. And I don't like, does it even count if you get your PhD from Columbia? It's like maybe Yale or Harvard. I mean, you mentioned Dartmouth, right, before. Like, go there. Like, Columbia? Like, I'm pretty sure you need like a 2.3 GPA to get in that college. So I'm not quite sure what he's doing there. Maybe Mike can let us know, a little intervention. But he did give us Mike. And Mike is the Marine, all right, who avoided active duty like the plague. All right, I'm sure he'll talk about it. But he started X-Ray Brand, and he's going to tell us all about it. So, Mike, welcome to the Dumpster Fire. We love having you here. Tell us a little bit about your service and what you got going on.
Thanks for having me. I don't think we're done talking about the monoliths yet, but we can dive into me if you want.
We can relate it to it.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get to the career part of it at some point here on the show, I'm sure. But JC introduced me to you guys because we're in a very similar industry, and you know, I'm going through the process of being a small veteran business owner, and it's just been amazing to get the support of lots of people like yourselves, even if that support comes with a little bit of mocking here and there, which I'm sure it will.
We haven't even been started.
Oh yeah,
that's a brotherhood love, man. That's a brotherhood love. Yeah,
moving up, man. But yeah, I started a business in November of this year. I've been working for other people and small businesses for years, and great experience to do that, and was on the grind for a long time because I'm a college dropout, and so I didn't have a piece of paper getting me in the door anywhere. And so I've been given lots of opportunities by the people that work for them and seen how they do it. And it just came time in my life to take the reins and do something on my own. And I saw a gap in our industry. There's plenty of, you guys know it, man. Veterans start t-shirt companies, coffee companies, and more. Now you got whiskey companies.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to grow a beard and start selling t-shirts.
That's it, man. And and so I wanted to have a different angle to it, and I've been in the custom apparel industry for a long time. I've started off at BDS Tactical, which is a Marine-owned, tactical nylon company. We're making everything in Oceanside, California, and just learned how to do production on demand in America. And we were making rifle slings and pouches before, and then I went to a sports apparel company that was doing the same. On demand, making things here, or at least close by. And so when it came time to do my own thing, we wanted to, bear down on a couple key pieces that we thought would make it stand out. And that's, stitch, needle, thread, manufacturing here in the US for every piece that we put our brand name on. And it's basically only customization. You actually can't buy a t-shirt from us if you're not in a military unit, law enforcement department, fire company, or a veteran-owned business. You can't go to our website.
You have to like show their ID card or something.
We haven't turned on the GovX or the ID certification, but we will in order to request the store to be built for you soon. We don't have too many people. We're just not that well known yet, so we don't have people streaming in and asking for BS yet. It'll come, but we've so far since February when we really opened up to the public, we've worked with about 105 units. To launch custom stores, and we'll work with down to a fire team level. We'll build a unique e-com store for 3 guys. If they have a cool logo they want to make, or if they want us to make one for them, we'll do it. We put that custom product on a unique private web store that we share with nobody but the unit leader who requested it. They get to share it however they want. It's their site to market. We don't put it out publicly. And members of that unit come, get their custom orders made, and we manufacture individually when they order. So there's no, you don't have to order a bunch up front. You don't have to pay us anything until you actually place an order for a piece of apparel. We'll make one shirt at a time, literally stitched by hand in the US and shipped to their house. So it's a different way to purchase. It's a really unique way to produce. And we have some amazing, one amazing factory partner. And then we partnered up with a company called Mission Essential Gear for the cotton stuff that, guys, for the junior enlisted that want to spend less than $30 on a t-shirt, that's not our brand's thing. If we're going to make a really nice Fiore quality shirt or a Lululemon quality shirt in the US, it's more than $30. But guys still need to be able to buy the custom shirts. We wanted to have cotton. We just can't put our name on it because it's not made here. But it is decorated at a veteran-owned facility in North Carolina. And that was important to us to keep it kind of in the family in that way. So I've been able, just by owning it and being able to make the decisions on our own, we've been able to stay true to what we want to do, and we're going to hold those core values as we build this thing out. But man, it's a scary process. You guys have started a podcast in your own businesses as well, and just getting out on your own and having a California mortgage and 2 kids and the whole thing, man. It's I think people
didn't know we had a podcast till like episode 100.
Yeah, we talk to each other. Well, someone's been recording the whole time. Shit.
Yeah. Well, we had a real Asian that was doing a lot better work than our fake Asian now.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Is your quantitative?
hey, shout out to Sukratak. All right, Fuadal Sukratak from Thailand.
You know, Suds.
Yeah, Ranger buddy named, we call him Suds because he couldn't say his name. But it is what it is. Yeah, he was like, "How come you guys don't promote the podcast?" We're like, "What podcast?" He's like, "I upload all your audio on all of it." And I'm like, "Oh shit, I didn't know that." But you brought up a good point that I hope that the people that yell at us about our stuff don't even know that we have a show. Like they're on VTT official and like they'll get mad at me for tagging everybody. And like, well, somebody was it that one person's like, how come it's $2 extra for a triple XL?
Yeah, right.
Because we use more material, fat ass, right? like you know, and then they tried to play the V card, right? They're like, well, you know, we're disabled veterans, we can't get into shape. That is 100% false. All right. So you don't get to drop that V card and use that. But yeah, if you want things made in America, like it's expensive.
It's a different price.
It is crazy.
Very different price.
Because we'll get this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The reality of it is it's what's crazy about doing it in America too. And it is crazy. It's really more about the story and what it means to you personally. Cause it's not like this is a fact. There are better sowers elsewhere. At least there are more better sowers. There are wonderful, talented sowers in the US. There's just way more in other places. There are facilities that are more prepared to handle volume or even individual orders. There are facilities that have better access to materials and the raw goods required to build something. There's no good reason right now to build things here unless it means something to you personally, morally, professionally. It's from here. It's not like in the shirt itself. Now we can make a really nice product here. We could make this shirt that I'm wearing now just as easily, frankly, significantly more easily in Vietnam or China or anywhere else. We do it in Mexico. And that would be really easy. And we're just not going to take that easy route. I think it's, we're going to build a brand out. It's a story.
You can reference the 1947 Treaty of Other American States and say that it's made in America. Mexico is technically another American state. So,
they are technically American.
Yeah, I mean, there's loopholes everywhere. You know, it's a little technically made in one of the other American states. So, which one? The other one.
It's like saying Canadians aren't American. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to go. I want to go back to Mike, and you addressed us with it too. And for anybody that's watching, it's like thinking about making that leap. You know, jumping into it. Talk about like what was your thing to just say, all right, I'm doing this now. You know, like are you still working on your other jobs, or are you full? You're all in now.
Boats are burned. Right. I started business with
a partner. So that's a big leap to take. Did you for anybody that's watching and thinking about veterans, like I want to start my own stuff. Did you take out a loan for it? You know, like talk about that process in itself.
I'll be very, very transparently. The only reason we could do this is because I've had 15 years of experience in this industry previously. So I knew exactly how to start this. I wasn't guessing at it. I already had the connections to get this thing off the ground operationally. I had a partner on functionally day one. And my wife works full time at a tech company. And so we looked at our budget together and said, hey, if this is what the road we're going to take, let's put a timeline on it. You know, but we've given ourselves a year. But I started this in November and haven't paid ourselves a dime, myself or my partner yet. So I'm zero income since November 15th. You know, and that's
wow.
Now the business is profitable and doing well, but I could take that profit and pay myself with it, or split it with my partner, or we could reinvest.
Or continue building the business. Yeah.
And I'm in a very fortunate position that I've had a professional life that generated savings up until this point, and my wife's done the same. And I wouldn't say we've been incredibly frugal, but we've been reasonable about things, and it put us in a position that we could take this incredible risk for a year. And then at the end of the year, if the thing is viable, and which it's demonstrated to be, and if it's growing at the rate we need it to grow, then we can. And if we still aren't paying ourselves, we need to be in a position where we need help financially. Then we can go get a loan. Which again, I think a lot of people think raising money or getting a loan is like a victory for a business, and it's really a concession. People celebrate that they had a funding round. You know, right. Or that they got a VC to come in and invest. And that's, first of all, it's not going to happen for a t-shirt business. You know, we're more than a t-shirt business, but we're not going to come get some white knight VC and it's going to drop $1 billion on us. It's just not what this industry is. And then, right. And also you're basically surrendering either a piece of control or a piece of ownership, and the thing does work out. The control piece was big for me. You're giving something significant up to have that, and you're saying that you need cash, that your business isn't functional enough on profit to do the growth that you want to do. So both my partner and I, he's done this before as well, both have said, like, we're not looking to take any money on. So we've been doing this entirely bootstrapped, but we built a model in which, it's without getting into the business specifics, because I think it'll bore the hell out of a lot of people. It was cash flow positive from day one almost. We don't have a high overhead. We have really good partners that do a great job with the product, and so we're not sitting here. We make money before we spend it almost always, and so those things have allowed us to grow. But again, man, like, for someone who thinks it's going to be G3s and flights to Vegas and fancy dinners and BMWs and whatever else, like, it ain't that. Maybe one day, and even if we made that kind of money, I'm probably going to buy a Toyota. You know what I mean? Like, just going to get the reliable car and make sure I'm not going to the shop too often, and I'm going to be happy.
I drive BMW. Nick drives Mercedes.
But it was a used one. I don't drive a Mercedes, and my wife drives a Mercedes. I drive a Honda Civic. And it's paid off.
Well, I'm talking about the ones that have drivers that you're not driving. That's what I think. What people have that vision on social media and what this is, and
well, a lot of social media is, that's a whole different conversation in itself. But that's like, you always see people in their happy place on social media. Nobody ever posts on social media like, "Fuck, I can't pay my electric bill next month," or "I'm hurting right now financially." It's always like nice trips, lavish trips.
Yeah.
Happy family, happy life. No, don't know what's going on, behind the scenes. But
so Dave had a good question there, and then Mike, I want to go a little bit off your answer and that question again for our audience, and people will watch it after the live and listen to it, especially after their shadow ban and the video pops up on their feed like 6 months from now.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
A lot of people listen on Spotify. They drive to work on Monday mornings and listen to this.
Yeah. So those of you listening and thinking about jumping into the entrepreneur world, we've said this 100 times on the show, where you got to take calculated risk, right? But that doesn't mean you don't take risks. I can't stand that. Like, oh, it's calculated risk. No, what you're doing is not risking anything. You calculated and are doing that because you're not risking anything, right? Like, there are things where, hey, we might take a wash on this, right? We might, and again, that scares the ever-living shit out of people, and it should, right? Yeah. However, go back to the, start your own nonprofit for July 4th, right? Go out and do something, right? And then this story reminds me, like what you started, kind of like we have a silent investor at VTT. He thinks he's a silent investor, but it's an LLC, so it's impossible. He's actually just a partner, and supposed to do work. But he has done very well for himself, and his story is kind of similar, where it's like he was doing the job, and he's like, you know what, I can do this job. Like, I can do this job better than they do that job.
Why am I giving all my time and effort for someone else's outcome when I could just do this? Yeah,
right.
We got to hit that point.
Yeah.
And I got to be an expert in an industry and said, I can sell my expertise to people, or I can go build something that's mine.
Right. That's freaking awesome. What were some of the troubles and trials you had, or was it pretty streamlined? How much research did you have to do in actually getting it started? Like, and like, how many
all the troubles and trials came from, all my troubles and trials came from my career leading up to this point. So, taking my first job with my porn friend and BDS Tactical. I mean, he hired me on the spot just because I was in the Marine Corps for no other reason. Like, I was not qualified to go work for him. I had just dropped out of college and moved my ass to California chasing active duty orders that fell through. I got stuck in. We'll get to this reserve duty stuff in a minute, I'm sure. But I came to California and I thought I was going to go active duty, and it didn't happen. And so I'm sitting around going, what the fuck am I going to do? I drove out of here in my truck with everything I owned. I paid my first month's rent, and I have nothing left. And I looked for a job on Craigslist, and I found BDS Tactical, and I had already sold my car to go just to afford the next month's rent. So I borrowed my friend's car to drive to the interview at BDS Tactical. in Oceanside, which is 50 miles from where I was living. And Mike hired me for no other reason than I was a Marine, and I was making $11 an hour. And so I would choose, to get gas in the car that I zero down finance. That's where I got the job, little Ford Ranger, to get up there.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to work every day, and it was like, maybe I'll eat ramen for lunch, or maybe I won't eat, but I'll get gas in the car to get to work for Mike and watch this guy run this business. And thinking that I knew every time I worked for a place and left, you have that thing, like you had that thought in your head, like, this place can't survive if I go, right? And I'm holding this thing together, and then you leave and everyone's fucking fine.
Yeah, your picture's coming off that wall as a leader. Like I always said to people in the Army, like, do everything you can for your soldiers, but that picture's coming off the wall.
Coming off, and then the organization will march on, dude. And so I got to have lots of humbling experiences like that at small businesses, and continue to learn more that, like, a well-led organization, a well-built organization can survive just about anybody rolling out, other than the capital, right? And
right, yeah.
And then it was the hard part was being in the military at the same time I was working for small businesses. So I had enlisted in the reserve in college, thinking I'll commission and I'll go be Tom Cruise and Top Gun, and then I failed out because I'm an idiot and didn't show up to class. And
I tried that approach too.
Yeah, it works great. It works fast.
It ended up in the Army. Yeah.
Yeah. And so so I was in the reserve and trying to work for small businesses. Now, reserve service works great for guys that are cops or firefighters or students who are temporarily students before they become cops and firefighters. It's a lot harder when you're working for a business that has 6 employees. And even the protections they have in place for people that would deploy or go on orders don't cover businesses of that size, and nor should they, I don't think. And so it was just a challenging environment to try to stop being broke and come up in a place where you're working really hard for a small entity and then leaving and then coming back and forth so often. But every time I would go through all those, like, working for a while, go back on orders, working for a while, go to Afghanistan and come back, get a new job because the last one's gone. Like, those things were all really challenging. But at every stage, I was learning more about how to produce things, learning more about factories, learning more about the apparel, the supply chain process, learning more about how these things get funded. I just kept learning about it. And I didn't mean to become good at this. Like, I didn't dream about being.
You gotta stop with this imposter syndrome.
Yeah, that's. But I was saying is I didn't. When I was a kid, I wasn't like, I'm going to run a T-shirt company. I was like, I'm going to be a firefighter or an astronaut. Like, no.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Tom Berenger from Platoon. Then I found out he was a war criminal. I was like, shit. There's rules against that.
Yeah, but it looks cool as shit, right? But you get to this point, though. I think the other thing about starting a small business, getting back to guys that are thinking about starting their own.
Mm-hmm.
I realized it wasn't so much the thing that I was making or building, but the feeling I got in whether it was fulfilling an order for a group or the feeling I got from being an expert now in something. Like, I felt valuable and I felt like I could contribute something very directly, and I could see the result of that contribution, very physically, especially when you're making things. Like, you put something on the line and it comes out and you can hold this thing up that you had a hand in making. And so now when I start, the main reason I can tell you I'm super happy to do this business, as risky and scary as it is, it's like I wake up in the morning and I have no fucking doubt. I'm looking forward to getting in front of my computer, getting down to the factory, figuring out what it is that I'm going to do that day or that week. I'm motivated. The second I get up, I'm ready to work and excited about it every day, even though I haven't made a dime off of it personally in months. And that'll come with time. I think that stuff happens to you, but there was no doubt that this is something I wanted to do, and that the feeling is just an intense feeling of purpose when I get up, even from T-shirts.
That's amazing. And I think one of the biggest things the issues is regret, right? Like that feeling of regret, because at some point in life you're going to be too old, and for anybody that's watching this, at some point you're going to be like, oh fuck, I should have taken that opportunity. I should have made that jump. Eventually there's not going to be time to do it. So I always tell myself, when I'm 80 or 90 and it's time to go, or even 100, who knows? If Elon Musk keeps up with his technology, we might go a little further. I don't ever want to look back and say, man, I should have taken that opportunity. You know, what would your 80-year-old self tell you today? You know, like, I should have taken that opportunity, taken that chance, you know? So like, I just think it's great, man. And you also have a passionate feeling about it. So like, it's going to work out, bro. You're going to fucking kill it, you know?
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah. Oh man,
absolutely.
Major, don't go. You were being so productive to the conversation. Oh no, yeah, he'll get back on. Quiet Marine. So how
regret's a big one, man.
Yeah.
No regrets.
Good for you.
Yeah, get the 10.
No regrets.
Yeah,
no regret.
But how do we help you? So people watching, listening, what is coming on this podcast? What are we promoting? I know that. I know. I'm just saying so that. I guess it's more rhetorical. But
so the most uncomfortable thing. So I know what my strengths are in the industry. I know how to get a shirt made. I know how to do things. I know how to make a really high quality one. I do it in the U.S. All the operational stuff is great. Stuff that I suck at is marketing. Talking about.
And you're not airborne. You're not as cool as we are. But
if you were airborne,
I should have been. I was at an airborne unit. And
you weren't airborne? Get him off the show. Cut this shit.
Another almost.
I think so. I am learning now and getting out of my comfort zone. I don't like talking about myself a ton. I don't like putting my face behind something and saying this is like, that's an uncomfortable action to start associating your personal self with this thing that becomes public. I've never been good at social media. Our social media account has 102 followers. You know, we've opened for 8 months. I've invested very little time and effort into that. And I think this is a step towards figuring out how to just get the word out about a thing that I care a lot about. And so I want people to check it out. I think, you know, if people are out there that have, if they're part of an active duty or reserve or National Guard unit or a
National Guard too. You guys help them out too?
Oh, we are partnered with the Friday Guard, brother. We are.
I love our guard guys. I love our guard guys.
But you know, just if you're part of an organization like that and we have an opportunity to work with you, we'd love that opportunity and come check us out.
Now, are you on sam.gov?
I did go get a cage code. I think just because.
I have one too. I just don't know how to use it.
We have one too. We just haven't.
Yeah, we have no fucking clue anymore.
We've had one for 8 months now, Nick.
Yeah, 3-week process of figuring out how to apply for that thing, and now I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever need this cage code that I got.
I get emails, but I don't know if they're real or not. I'm like, is this somebody trying to jack me off your hawk tool of me, or what's going on here?
That is a legit though for anybody that's watching. Like, if you got a veteran-owned company, that's something to look into, especially if you're distribution.
You know, just get it done.
Yep.
It's free to do it. It's a pain in the ass.
Correct.
I'm just saying, I'm 100% disabled and have a Purple Heart. If you make me a partner, I can put you at the top of the sam.gov.
That's right.
I'm saying. So, like,
JC's kicking the door down too. Everyone's ready.
No, JC's out. Yeah, like tell him he's fired. Yeah,
he's just an advisor. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's actually I want to mention that too. One of the things that made this easy to start doing is that we got support from a lot of people out of the kindness of their hearts and nothing else. And we just had to ask for it. Like, I think a lot of people are afraid to do that, and it just took me. Again, I've never been in the same room physically as JC, but when I asked him to come on board as an advisory member, as we were getting this thing launched, he said yes in a heartbeat. And he's taken, an hour out of his day, at first once a week and then every other week to give us pointers, to be supportive.
Well, that explains why we never see him.
He's got a sugar mama. He's doing dishes right now.
Yeah.
He ain't doing shit. So yeah.
And we had another guy, George Briones, who's who was over at Sawfleet for years and then now has GB3 Athletics and just got signed on as the director of education at Deep End Fitness. I met George at a veteran writers retreat with Dead Reckoning Collective, and in the fall of last year, recently, and he's been a huge advocate and not only to give us good pointers in the product, but also to beat the shit out of me at DBC Fitness, once or twice a week and get me whipped up back into shape. And so we've had people that have been really helpful,
very supportive.
And those guys right now get nothing back for that other than just, I don't know what they get out of it. And that's been amazing to get that kind of support. And then getting introduced to guys like you who have somebody on their podcast who's, not going to bring a lot of fucking listeners in themselves.
We do that.
Yeah, you guys are already on that.
That's our job.
But
we sell shirts too, right?
Yeah,
that's the big thing.
That is a big thing that Nick just said. We sell shirts too. Like the veteran community is cutthroat too. The veteran community is cutthroat. I think Chris was going to hit on that, but we are not like that. Like if you sell. Yeah, go ahead, Chris. We'll let you. I know you're going out.
No, Chris, shut up. So, Monica with the thumbs up, right? Monica, use your VTT page. All right, get your sick ass back in there and log in as VTT Zoe 254 cable. All right, you've been served. Okay, Chris, go ahead.
Chris, go ahead, brother.
We've had people come up to us before and say, "Hey, we're a veteran business. We'll promote you, but you're going to pay us this." And I think Nick was the one that said, he's like, "We do that for free." We've had many of other competitors, if you will, on our show. There was the one guy that did that really funny stuff. That was his niche.
Chummy Vet Apparel?
Yeah, Chummy Vet Apparel.
Shit's hilarious.
And we'll post it on our pages too. We
blast it out there to everybody on our, hey, we sell these shirts pages. It's all
we
about
work for booze. We don't even get money. They get free whiskey. We're not cash flow
positive. A rising tide lifts all boats, man. I think if there's a lot of people that are out there understanding that there's quality companies that are out there working, if you can, first of all, what's great about this is really not competitive because we're trying to be Viore and doing an active wear. Long term, I'd love to sell a black shirt and not have to do all the decoration on it. But we'll get there one day. But it is if guys can just get together, I'll share factories, I'll share printing locations, whatever it can be to be successful. It's not a zero-sum game. Guys can order more than one T-shirt in a year. It's not. You're not I'm only going to buy one this year, man. I got to pick which company it's going to be. It's not.
We wear other people's apparel all the time too.
All the time.
Yeah, we do. It's just having that win-win mentality.
Yeah.
Instead of I feel like you're gonna win if you have that win-win mentality. If you want everybody else around you to win,
except for Grunt Style, they can go fuck themselves.
And Nine Lines.
9 Lines.
Well, okay. 9 Lines okay. 9 Lines good.
They got rid of that person that murdered that other person there.
Oh, they did. Okay, good.
Yeah. So they're good with that. And then all the shit my drill sergeant used to say. If I ever see you guys in public, I am coming at you with a right hook and I will go to jail. Right? How do you steal from us? They took our design, our Get the Demons Out shirt.
Yeah.
And these guys are a lot bigger player than we are, right?
Yeah.
So it's dude, we promote people for free, and you're stealing our shit. You could have came on the show. And we would try to sell as many all the shit my drill sergeant shirts we could for you. You're gonna take our design and what? And so they blocked me. I don't get to talk to them anymore. But
if they would have hit us up and just been hey, we're gonna change the design up a little bit, can we fucking use it? I don't care. None of us care about that.
Just give us a tag. Hey, got some of our brothers at Veteran Trash Talk.
Boom.
We'll get guys that reach out with, units will reach out and they'll tag their artwork and their submissions to us, and the artwork will come and I'll go, I recognize that art from one of the dozens of veteran artists on Instagram that I follow, and I will, I'll DM that artist and go, do they have your permission? Is this all right? We're always going to check that, and it's crazy when people. So to think that a company would do that is, it's pretty wild, man.
They're probably
it's pretty challenging in the apparel and the when the biggest example was I think when Ukraine kicked off, all of that veteran apparel units were making shirts and they all looked very similar. I'm not saying we were the first.
We were 100%.
I'm saying we were bombs were dropping. 3 hours later, let's make some money. No, I'm just kidding. But 3 hours later, we had a shirt out, But then they were everywhere. So yeah, it's just.
We found it.
It's
all right.
But we just want everybody to win, man. We just promote everybody. We want everybody to be successful and succeed, and I think that is possible. But
nobody else is going to help us. Might as well help ourselves.
Shit going on. What's
And
that, Chris?
All I'm saying, we don't want Chris talk. All I'm saying is the top of the veteran shirt business should not be a grunt style.
Non-veteran
Not
owned
even
industry.
veteran
Non-veteran owned.
They voted their veteran out. If anything, they're anti-veteran.
Exactly, but they do a lot. They donate a lot of money. But again,
They do donate a lot of money.
You can't buy your way into heaven, Grunt
We would do the same thing.
We would do the same thing though to get our taxes written off, right? So it's like, you're doing all this great shit, but you're actually just writing off your taxes. So are you really doing that great shit? Like, that's a whole other discussion.
Taxes pay for the VA. So thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Grunt style. Hey, somebody scanned the
That's
QR
good.
code.
That's good.
Holy shit. Yeah.
So what's the next step? Like, just continue expanding?
Yeah, I think we haven't spent any money on marketing yet. And so that changes. Everything's been word of mouth or my own relationships from, I did my Afghanistan deployment in 13, 14, and we had our little 10-year reunion, in Big Bear this year. And from that group, when they heard that I was launching a company, and they're all still in the mix. Like we got Bakersfield SWAT, we have guys that are still active duty, that are at schools or at different units now. One guy was the, sergeant major for 4th Recon or 3rd Force, but they started asking for stores and supporting the business by just being there. And then that spread through word of mouth. We partnered up with ME Gear, and they didn't want to handle all the custom art the guys are asking for. So our growth has been almost entirely from just word of mouth and relationships. And so now it's time to open up the purse strings a little bit and start spending money on email campaigns.
That's growth, though, right there.
It's happening, man. We've been doing.
That's the best growth because it says something about your product, right? You're not even putting money into marketing, anything like that. It's just getting pushed out word of mouth because you guys are doing what you need to do, And you're setting the bar high, and it's a good reputation there, Ben.
We've been at 80% month over month from the jump. And even with that, it's like 80% from $0 to fucking $5. That's when you go from 0, you can get good growth numbers if you count by percentages.
Right.
Right.
But
900,000% increase this year.
That's it, man. From November, we're up like $1 trillion. Amazing.
Yeah.
But now we'll start getting more professional, getting the word out. We've hired a marketing contractor. It's a woman that I've worked with before who's just outstanding at her job. And how often do you guys get hit up by digital growth specialists?
Oh, I get that
nonstop.
Yeah.
All day, every day. And just watch out. Like, there's a lot of hackers in there too, man.
Oh yeah. Well,
when we first started this, and we had our page and so many followers, like, this is Facebook, we're going to shut down your page. And I'm like,
we get that more than anything.
Do we need to hit this guy up? No, they want our login information. Like, no, what? Yeah, it's going to be constant, man. And it's going to just continue.
How many times, I lost out on money, for the company for sponsors because you get so much spam that you're just deleting them. And then, I remember I decided to reply to that Evergreen Media. Because it looked more professional, right? I just replied to it, and all of a sudden, pow, we got 4 patrons are our sponsor for 6 months. Yeah. And it's like thankfully I didn't delete it because I saw, hey, we want to be on your show, we want to sponsor you, oh, okay, $17,000 a post. Yeah, is that what you're going to give us? Yeah, no. So, but yeah, talk about the marine life for a little bit.
Yeah,
so
man.
what was that all about?
We got some really awesome crayon shirts.
Yeah,
go check out.
I'm on a diet.
VeteranTrashTalk.com. They're really nice, man.
You shouldn't eat shirts. You wear those. You don't eat them.
Oh, well, that's disappointing.
I've tried. It didn't work out well.
You could make an edible shirt. We'll talk about that sourcing stuff later.
We got something for you after the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Military wise, I saw Top Gun.
VTT after hours.
I thought I was going to be Tom Cruise. That was the plan. Ended up not doing that. I did Air Force ROTC for a year of college before I, unceremoniously failed out. I got bored and walked into the Marine Corps recruiter's office and said, "What's the soonest I could leave and do this?" He's like, "I can get you out of here next week," basically. And that was it. I left school about 3 weeks before finals. Didn't take them. and went to boot camp on a split option contract, which was for me a dumb contract to have signed. I think a lot of guys did really well with it, and then they went to school, and then they commissioned at the end and became officers, which was the plan. I just blew it along the way, and I got stuck in the reserve. And the closest reserve unit to where I'd signed up was Bulk Fuel Company B, 60SB. So I was a bulk fueler in the reserve for 4 years, where you literally I don't know what we did every month.
Well, you only did it on the weekends.
Even then,
once a month.
Even on that weekend, it's not like they gave us any fuel. Actually, we weren't pumping fuel for anybody. We weren't even doing that. So I couldn't even tell you.
You were just sitting by a big bomb.
That was it.
Yeah,
just hanging out.
Yeah.
We got a good
I was
reserve weekend warrior line as well.
Highway to Wilmington is where I was sitting. But I didn't want that, and I went to go look for active orders in a lat move, and was told it could happen out in California. And so I picked up my bags and moved to California with no job and no prospects. And the orders that I submitted for did not come through. And
no orders,
and that's it, man. And so I was a bulk fueler again at a wing unit in the reserve, also not pumping gas for anybody. And after that, it was like, this is not what I thought this was going to be about. And, but I'd been working for small businesses the whole time, and was thinking maybe I'll just lean into that, but I just hadn't had the career or the experience even that I wanted to have in the Corps at that point. So I re-enlisted and lat moved to field radio operator and went to Anglico. I asked around what's the place that deploys the most out of the reserve, and Anglico was a very fast, easy answer. They were still having an Afghanistan mission and sending 2 debts out annually. So it was, if you wanted to deploy and go to Afghanistan or Iraq, you went to Anglico. And so third was kind of
Chris,
taking
how come you didn't go there?
I got shafted and stuck at Quantico.
Chris was making fucking food, man.
Yeah,
ain't food everywhere.
He wasn't a baker in the Marines.
Chris was a cook in the Marine Corps.
No,
it wasn't.
Pretty much. Yeah, he cooked cables. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Camo guy. So.
Yeah. But that move worked out. Like they sent me to field radio operators course. They sent me to join fires observer school, and then I got put on a team that went to Afghanistan within a year and a half of being there. So it really much was the place that did what they said. And for a reserve unit, just operational tempo was super high. Like I was out of the country a third of the year, whether we were going to Afghanistan or England or Thailand or wherever. We were on the move a lot.
So what's the final like test for your fire observer? Do you like, yep, that's a fire over there?
Yeah, that's it. No, you got it.
Fire observer.
It's a 3-week course, and you're just learning close air support in a virtual.
That kind of fire.
Probably taught by the Army, right? Like all the courses are, right?
Yeah. This one actually was a Marine mobile team.
Wow.
But they were based out of Fort Sill. So
yeah, Fort Sill. Oh, the garrison sergeant.
Where's Bill?
Where's Bill at?
Our fight show host. Yeah.
Beautiful Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But so that was what I wanted to do, and we had a great wild mission there. We're on the Georgian liaison team, so we're there for that rotation of a poor little country trying so hard to get into NATO, but still hasn't done it and probably won't. And
they try again. Putin's going to go right in there and lose 100 tanks doing it, but he's going to go right in there and make sure it don't happen. Yeah.
They're in a tough spot, those guys.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. But half of the team spent 6 months leading up to that deployment in Georgia, training the Georgians, and then when we did our field exercise, getting ready for the deployment with the whole unit together, the whole team. They weren't going to ship all these Georgians to 29 Palms. So we had it done at Hohenfels in Bavaria. So we got ready for, Helmand province in the Bavarian forest for 4 months. It was great training.
Yeah.
I mean, truly great. One of my favorite places on the planet, and stories I can't tell even on here from Hohenfels, but that was
happens at Hohenfels, stays at Hohenfels.
Hey, Hohenfels.
To include the hose.
Yeah, that was a good pre-deployment, and then we had a busy time and got a lot of work in over there, and came back and and then my first kid was on the way. Did a few more years of trying to be at a VP level at a small business, and then like leaving to go to England for 3 weeks with the Marine Corps and coming back and going to a different school or whatever. So it was a tough time. And it got to a point where do I continue with this, or do I focus on, like, do I try to be a professional reservist, which there are some guys that can pull it off, or do I lean into this small business world that I'm starting to really appreciate? And it was a hard choice, but
you quit. You quit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Big quitter.
I leaned into small business, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Good stuff.
All the time. Yeah. Like, so I was the opposite when I was in the reserves for about 6 months of my career. When I failed out of college, I was like, hey, like, and I didn't fail out of college. I went and played baseball, came back, and I was like, hey, I want the job with like the least amount of responsibility that doesn't deploy. Like, I just want to finish my degree. So they made me a train driver. It was legit. Like, as far as I'm tracking, there's no trains in Iraq. So
not that we're driving. Yeah,
we're good. That's not, then, I was about 6 months. Then I went to go be airborne, all that good stuff. But I'm still waiting for Delta Force to give me a call to halo out of a plane because they're going to take over a train. They need a train driver. Like,
it's right around the corner.
I'm ready, guys. I'm ready right now. Like,
coming, bro. It's coming.
The train only goes forward and backwards. It's not hard. Like,
yeah.
Pretty simple. No, that's really cool. And again, I think people listening, and I hope they get the same takeaway that I am from this is, as we're helping veterans and we're helping, people that are just listening, is, embrace the ambiguity of the journey, right? Like you're going to keep going different directions. You keep the same end state. Right. And, but try to take a right over there. Try to take a left over there. Like, see what happens. See where it takes you. So I really appreciate you sharing your story. And I know unless you guys have more questions for you, we can keep the show going if we'd like to. But I am, like I said, I will have you over for our housewarming party. You have to drive a couple hours north. Right. And
love to be there.
And then any way that
I'll be there. Yep.
Any way that we can help you, whether it's whatever your marketing is, all right, connect them with us. And then if there's like a flyer or something, sure, right, we can put it out there and like, hey, if you're a unit, you don't want to buy from us, then buy from this guy. So like, do it that way. So,
hell yeah.
We don't care. Just buy from one of us. So it works.
Love it. Well, man, thanks for giving me a forum to share this. And I think the most important thing I took away from this is that there might be aliens putting monoliths around the country. So,
Monica, it's already in the chat, Monica.
Monica wouldn't have shown up on time. She'd have seen when I posted it, half an hour into the chat.
Yeah. She said she was sick today. She said she woke up sick and she texted us like 30 minutes before the show started. And I'm like, you don't wake up at 3:30 sick. You're waking up hungover, Monica. All right. The Legion post a little rough in Hollywood, huh?
Gotta crack that Pedialyte early.
Yeah. I love you fuckers. You love it too much. So. But Chris, give us the AR.
So the conspiracy today was these obelisk-looking things. I think it's Elon.
Can you spell that word?
No.
No, you can't.
But I can pronounce it. I can.
Oh.
You can't pronounce it. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Obelisk? Is that even a word? Obelisk?
Obelisk? Yeah.
They're Tesla truck charging stations. It's confirmed. It's confirmed. Okay. Mike has an awesome business he's growing and doing the custom route. He's bougie. It makes sense coming from Carlsbad. They're all bougie out there.
He gets manicures.
He does, I'm sure. Yeah. He's worse than you. He probably complains if they don't automatically put him in business class without asking.
Right. Oh God, yeah. They touch you when they walk by. It's gross.
Yeah.
To the back of the plane, you commoners. Yeah.
You guys don't buy first class tickets when you fly?
Nick just expects the upgrade. Yeah.
No, I have my G3. I don't need the first class.
There it is.
Yeah, my private.
There it is. He's
I'm
flying out of Palomar.
He's an entrepreneur, bro. You should come here, Chris.
G3 aluminum. Yeah.
He flies private, bro.
And then the Book of Earl, the big takeaway was be excellent.
To each other.
Or just everybody.
Yeah, don't just be excellent. You got to say it to each other, Chris. That's like the main thing. That's like the main fucking part of it.
I mean,
listen, it's been a while since I've seen Bill and Ted, okay?
They built a society off of that phrase.
They did. So air guitars and everything.
Yeah.
Great show. Lots of fun. Hey, Mike, love what you're doing. And, for any entrepreneurs that are watching, hopefully you can, take some stuff from this and, maybe make that leap of faith, or leap of whatever you want to call it. Just don't be that guy with regrets 30, 40 years down the road when it's
no regrets.
No regrets, right? When it's I don't want to say when it's too late because that sounds savage as fuck, but it might be too late. When you're laying on your deathbed and you're like, fuck, I should have taken that opportunity. Well, now it's too late. So don't be that guy.
Dave, they die.
Yeah. Make that leap and we'll stay connected. We'll talk after the show. For anybody that tuned in late, go to VeteranTrashTalk.com. It's got the links to all the platforms that we're on. If you want to listen to this on your drive to work on Monday, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. Go check out shop.veterantrashtalk.com. There's a QR code there on the top my left. Maybe it's on your right, whatever. Nick's wearing the OG Veteran Trash Talk shirt.
Tee, yep.
This is one of our favorites, a very good seller. Remember the Fallen. And then Chris,
what do you wear?
I got a fishing shirt on.
Is that a fucking moo-moo? What is that shit? Yeah.
The one thing you learn in the military is just show up on time and be in the right uniform, right?
Hey, let's be honest. To be fair, I wasn't supposed to be on camera today.
Do fucking push-ups.
Monica
Anyhow, we'll catch you guys next Saturday. Love y'all.